Madam Deputy Speaker, I rise today to place on record my support for the classification of computer games and images and other legislation amendment bill of 2012. Yeah, there's a few of them in the arcades. Last year, the Commonwealth Government introduced an R18+ category for computer games, following strong community support for the higher classification. This legislation came into effect on the 1st of January 2013. This bill creates the framework for 3 new offences regarding the demonstration and sale of R18+ computer games, decreasing the likelihood of children under 18 being exposed to realistic stimulations of sexual activity and gratuitous violence. Madam Deputy Speaker, this legislation provides for an area of classification that has been missing for some time, that of a classification for material that is intended for adults who have more experience and maturity for dealing with the sorts of material that this category will cover. As the father of 4 boys, Melinda and I have responsibly monitored our own kids' use and consumption of video and computer games, but this has not been without its challenges. The fertile hearts and imaginations of our children and young people are coming more and more under siege, and I'm not referring simply to the battles that occur in Mortal Kombat or Call of Duty, or those battles that my sons and I enjoy on the upstairs couch as they flog me in just about every game that we ever play. But Madam Deputy Speaker, sadly, the makers of Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation and the plethora of new games and devices flooding the market are more focused on increased profits than the well-being of our families or societal values. As computers and devices become faster and more accessible, as the ever-increasing range of games becomes more graphic, more violent, more sexually explicit and higher in impact, governments must intervene to protect our most vulnerable children and their innocence from those organisations and businesses who opportunistically obsess about larger and larger profits, regardless of the social cost or impact on our children, families and society. While the introduction of this new category, R18+, for computer games is an important move forward, it would be a mistake for parents to see this as an opportunity to relax or become less vigilant. Rather, it provides greater clarity and awareness in respect of the many options and choices available in the market. Madam Deputy Speaker, as a father and Assistant Minister for Child Safety, I would prefer that these reforms were not necessary. I would rather that our society had no such appetite for the kind of material this new R18 classification will cover. There is far too much of this material flooding into our homes, our state and our nation. I, for one, would prefer a society with less graphic violence and less promotion of such inappropriate sexualised behaviours evident in many of the games which will no doubt fall under this new category, R18 category. In the absence of such values and in the interests of freedom of choice and freedom of speech, I do, however, cautiously and soberly welcome the classification of computer games and images and other legislation amendment bill of 2012 and the somewhat limited protections this bill affords to the children of Queensland by the adding of this new classifications to the rating system for computer games. Madam Deputy Speaker, we as elected representatives should be doing all that we can to protect our kids. We need to be making distinctions as to what is suitable material for the young people of Queensland, but once again I must stress that this bill is by no means a way for parents to absolve themselves from the responsibility of being parents. I commend this bill to the House.